Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to this part of our special day, which this part of our day is in memory of Dan. And I thought that prior to getting into doing a bit of talking, that we could just maybe take a moment of silence, not only for Dan, but it was a tragic event happened last week in Orlando, Florida, and I think it would be fitting if we also had those people in our memories during a little bit of a pause for silence. Okay, so. Thank you, everybody. So, we don't really have a formal agenda planned for this part of the day. I really wanted just to give everybody the opportunity, if they want to say a few words in memory of Dan, we certainly want to do that. And I said that I would kind of get the ball started. So for me, when I was thinking about Danielle, and I thought, what would I want to say? And probably, I think the most important thing I want to say to you is what Danielle taught me personally, and what he taught me, because when I think of my memories of Dan, I think of his smile, I think of the conversations we had, and the conversations were typically about the Canadians, or they were about the Red Blacks. He was a big football fan, and we go to football games, my husband and I, and we did that whole North Side, South Side sucks kind of conversation. And then just the day-to-day interactions that I had with Dan were usually, hey Dan, how's it going? And he'd say, beautiful, and he always had a big smile on his face. And I think at the end of the day, when we're no longer working with somebody, and for Dan it's because of a tragic reason, you don't really reflect back on what they did as a job. You think back on who they were as a person. And that's what resonates with me, and that's what Dan taught me, is I think at the end of the day, I hope people think of each other as people, not so much what we do, but that we're all people who happen to be spending a long moment of time together through work. And it reminds us to be good to each other and to be happy and focus on the things in life that keep us happy. So that's what he taught me, and that's the memory I wanted to share with you guys. And I wanted to just pass it over to Stefan, because Stefan has something he wants to say, and then we'll open it up to everybody.
As some of you may or may not know, Dan was also a big fan, aside from the Canadians and the Red Blacks, he was a diehard fan of good old classic country music. Okay, and some of you may or may not know, but he had an amazing voice. If you were privileged like I was to not just have the opportunity to hear him, but to actually sing with him, unbelievable. And that's one of the things, again, I was privileged to share with Dan almost on a daily basis, because he'd come by and sing half a tune here and there. They had to be tunes that were tugging at the heartstrings. Or he'd say, no, we're not doing that one. It's not heartfelt enough. So today, he is here with us, and I'm going to pay a little tribute with one of the songs that I was fortunate enough to sing with him a few times that meant a lot to him, amongst many others. And there's copies of it on the table. And we're doing it à la Dan, because he loved karaoke, as you all know. So we, François graciously accepted to connect a little something for us. But feel free to join in. And then
It's going to be up on the computer too, I think.
She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the lights and lay there in the dark. And the thought crosses my mind, if I never wake up in the morning, would she ever die the way I feel about her in my heart? And if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? And did I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one? If my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? 'Cause I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I loved them. And now I live with the regret that my true feelings, oh, they never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself, to say each day how much she means to me, and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. And if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way to show her every day, oh, that she's my only one? If my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last tomorrow never comes? Everyone, so tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. We love you, Dan.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So we'll open it up to the floor now. If anybody would like to say something, feel free.
I got something.
Okay.
Actually, I thought of Dan this morning because I went in my hot tub, and that was the conversation.
All right.
That did not sound good. But, you know, and that's a conversation, well, Dan had a hot tub, so I thought about him because he always went early in the morning, and it was really special because I sat, the way my hot tub is set up, I kind of sit there and across the street, across the fence, I can see the church and I can see the cross there. So he was really, really with me this morning when I thought about him. And so, yeah.
Well, I still come in every day waiting for him to say, thanks for coming in.
Oh, yeah. I told those people that, yeah.
And
Thanks
within
for
about an
coming.
hour, get Pam. What would happen, Sue, if you didn't take your meds today? So I miss him a lot.
I like to say something also too. As Nancy mentioned, yes, Dan was, has a beautiful smile, and always, every day when when we see it, how are you? I'm fine, and he is very pleasant person. But then also, even though he passed away, I think his memories are here, and also the beautiful song, that also the beautiful voice we never heard from Stefan, and he gave us the opportunity. I think he gave you the opportunity to show, like we have been here so many years, but I think that was a very nice thing that you to sing that song.
That's nice, Pete. It's true. I mean, this was not, I'm sure, easy for Stefan, and it's definitely a testament to his friendship, and it was very, very fitting and touching. So, thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan.
So if any, well, I mean, we can certainly continue our conversations about Dan. We have a great barbecue ahead of us. Before I move on to the next part of our presentations, though, I did want to say, I like the thanks that I want to give everybody who helped us with the plaque. You'll see the plaque over there on the table, and you'll notice it's likely a carbon copy, or very close to a carbon copy of what I think the VS team put together the day that we found out that Dan had passed. And so we appreciate your support and ideas about the plaque, and I'd also like to thank Doris and Lori, who helped with actually getting the plaque here for today. And we look forward to putting the plaque up, likely in the kitchen, and hope that you all like it. So the next part is actually, I'm going